I'm back as the 90s warrior. I am about to witness the voice of one of the main villains of the show. Yeah. Okay, the chat box is up. Here he is. You know him as the voice of Cracker Jack and Darky Duck. Michael Bell. And there's the catchphrase.
It's playtime! Hey guys,
Yep.
good to see everybody.
Still
You
does
are
it.
ready to hear me talk about Quacker Jack and how and when it happened. Well, let's see. Uh, I got the call and I appeared at the studio, and Ginny McSwain was the director, the lovely Ginny McSwain. And I saw all my peeps, Dan Castellaneta and Michael Goff, and a whole bunch of good folks on either side of me. And we got the script and went through it. And at which point, I noticed I'm playing Quacker Jack. I mean, this is just they give you the role. They say here, nobody says, would you read for this first or you read for that? Let's see what you've got, etc. They just know what you can do. At least Ginny knew what it is we could do, so she gave it to us. And I looked at Quacker Jack and I thought, well, I'm going to draw upon an actor that has a quality, some sort of comic or some actor that has some sort of interesting quality to their voice. And I picked Kirk Douglas originally, who has kind of a cracking sound. Everything he did was in this area over here. And I thought, I'll do that. That'd be fun. Because I've done Jack Palance before and Rod Steiger. I thought, no, this is Kirk Douglas. But what happened was Dan's character, Megavolt, I believe it was
Yeah.
before me in terms of appearing.
Non
And nobody knew what
Simpsons.
we were going to do because we didn't rehearse it. And then as we rehearsed it, Dan chose his character to sound like Kirk Douglas. And as soon as I heard him do that, I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? I had that in my head. Now I got to get him out and come up with something else, which I did. Um, a little bit crazy,
Yeah, that looks like
a
his
little bit
Chatham background.
kind of comedy, high pitch, nervous reaction, etc., frantic, OCD, whatever I could do to get the character going so it really sounded like he was off the wall. Because he's off the wall. And it worked. Normally, what happens is the director will say, give me a deeper voice. I hear the character's a deeper voice. Could you try that? Well, asking me for a deeper voice is asking me to swim underwater for 23 minutes because I don't have that. So Ginny knows, keep him over there, over here, wherever. Find your level, and you got it. And that's what I did. And that's how Crackerjack was born.
So,
What's the story?
Michael, what has Cracker Jack meant to you, or Darkwing meant to you, the last 29 years?
Well, nobody figured like all the series I've done. You don't figure they're gonna last that long. It's kind of like a one night stand, which I've never had. Is my wife remember me? No. Okay. Uh, it's you just think that's it. It's a job. I'm gonna do this job, and I move on from there to run for a season or two seasons, and that'll be it. 29 years. I mean, that's a marriage, and it's lasted more than most marriages here in Hollywood. So I consider myself very lucky. Um, when I go to conventions, I get all these great fans, and amidst all the characters that I have laid out, a lot of them pinpoint and say, "Oh my God, I love him. I love this guy. Sign my picture, whatever." And I wind up doing that. And of course, with Banana Brain, clutching, him clutching Banana Brain, it's just been a lark. It's been great fun. It's been a character I thought I put to bed, and he keeps waking up.
All right, Mike, we had three questions for you. One of them is from Instagram. It's from JDowns80, and he asked, did you have a hard time transitioning from Quacker Jack to Mr. Banana Brain?
Actually, no. I didn't have a hard time transitioning from Banana Brain to Cracker Jack and back and forth because um, I'm schizophrenic. So my wife says that she never knows who I'm going to be the next day. So that was pretty easy. Um, and it's basically it's just vocal. It's just a vocal choice. I mean, if it was something on camera, I may have a different thing I'd be talking to you about. But the fact that it's a vocal choice and different level and different kind of attitude, no, there wasn't too much of a problem. You know, I teach voice animation. I'm doing that since the '80s, and in fact, I'm at michaelbellvoices.com. I teach a class. It doesn't cost anything. If anybody's interested in doing voices, they just go to Michael Bell Voice Acting Seminar, Michael Bell VO Seminar, whatever it is. I've been so long, so animation seminar on YouTube. And you get an hour of me showing you how to create a character. And I should have answered a lot of questions for fans.
All right. Question number two is from Facebook. Is from Charlie Robinson, and he asks, with Quacker Jack and Megavolt having so many episodes together, was it easy to build chemistry with Dan Castellaneta?
You know, chemistry is an interesting word. Um, I don't know if you needed chemistry. I don't look. I don't recall all the scripts, obviously. If I did, I'd be crazy. Um, there's not as if we had a repartee between us. It's not as if it's a narrative where there's this dramatic unfolding or comedic back and forth because everything is spliced anyway in the editing room. So no matter what we do, it's going to sound really good as long as we're two professionals. And that goes for everybody in that list. Everybody's sitting there working. Uh, Unlike Rugrats, where I have a real character and relationship, it's important. The chemistry is important. But for a show like this, which is off the wall, almost sketch, wacky sketch, chemistry is the wrong word. Just the professionalism that exists between two actors. And as I said, we don't have a lot of dialogue. I don't recall between us. If we do, I don't recall it. But we do our job, and they splice together. So if there wasn't any chemistry, they would create it. And Dan's a very talented guy, so it's great working with talent. You know what I mean? Because when you're working, it's really interesting. You think in your head sometimes, is that how I would say his line? And you can't do that when you're working at that kind of a pace. So he's so assured, and as was everybody in that room. I got to say that we were fortunate, really fortunate.
All right. And the last question is from Facebook. Haley Strock asks, "Can you do the voice one last time?"
Uh, so this is the DuckTales reboot.
Hang on a second. Don't move.
Only gets his Cracker Jack figure.
Oh wow.
It's playtime!
I'm imagining it talking.